Welcome to Extra Details here on That's Good Sports Plus, where you can tell our intro is just a ripoff of the opening sequence for HBO's Westworld. I'm paying extra for football animations I could find in a stock library. Seriously guys, I'm an ex-NFL quarterback with no graphic animation experience, and I could have done this on my own. Anyway, today I will be going into extra details with rookie quarterback Josh Rosen. But first, a word from our sponsor. This episode is sponsored by SeatGeek. Use my promo code ThatsGood and SeatGeek will give you $20 off of your first ticket purchase. There's a link in the description to get you to SeatGeek. Now, I use SeatGeek to get football tickets, any kind of tickets you want. NFL games, NBA games, NHL games, concert tickets, comedy tickets. You get the point. Now, SeatGeek aggregates tickets from all over the internet, puts them in one convenient location for you, and then ranks the ticket prices with a green rating or a red rating. So again, my promo code ThatsGood will save you $20. I picked a rookie because they typically suck, and spotting all of the mistakes they make is easier than Tom Brady's competition in the AFC East every season. A rookie QB's first season is not indicative of what his career will be like. It is, however, indicative of how quickly his first head coach might get fired.
I was just fired.
Let's start here, as Arizona is on the road in Minnesota, one of the politely loudest stadiums in the NFL. Now, Kansas City, Philadelphia, Boston, those fans aren't scared to scream about how many ways they f***ed your mother the night before. But in Minnesota, it's all positive compliments for their home team. What you want to do in a noisy environment, assuming you can ignore the racial slurs coming out of Gillette Stadium or the science deniers in Arrowhead, is use a technique called the silent but deadly count. The right guard here is going to turn around and tell Rosen to get those nostrils ready, because the center, number 64, he has been loading up on double-decker tacos and 7-layer burritos that he dipped in pintos and cheese from Taco Bell the night before and that day of. Now, the crowd noise is going to drown out the sound, but the vibration from the center ripping ass is usually so strong that everyone on the offense can feel it, and that's the signal to snap the ball. Rosen sees man coverage, I prefer the gender-neutral person coverage, on the outside and throws the out route to number 10. Again, we're going to see Rosen get the signal from Pugh. Trust me, that is no coincidence. Then he taps the center to let him know that he's ready to blast all 7 layers right into Rosen's face. Now, I would not try this technique from under center, because there's always the risk of a wet fart, a shart for layman's, and that could hinder the quarterback's ability to grip the ball, especially in an already rainy or wet condition. Big reason I played in shotgun most of my career. Moving on to the next play, Rosen kills the play at the line. Now, a little quarterbacking 101 for you here. The Cardinals have 2 plays called in the huddle. So if Rosen doesn't get the look he wants, he's going to tap his helmet and yell something like, "Kill, kill," or "Alert, alert," to kill the first play and run the second one. Now, there's all sorts of terminology quarterbacks use to kill a play. My dear, dear friend Tom Brady will usually yell something like, "Hernandez, Hernandez," when the defensive look doesn't match what they saw on their illegally taped footage. Drew Brees will do a throat-slashing motion and yell, "OJ, OJ," to kill the play. Occasionally, to keep the defense on its toes, he'll change it up and yell, "Simpson, Simpson," or "Juice," while keeping the same motion with his hands. It's a pretty popular one. You can see Dak Prescott doing it here. But some of the younger guys like Derek Carr or Carson Wentz will yell, "Making a murderer, making a murderer," or "Serial, season 1, season 1. Peyton Manning used to yell "video" and "radio star" to kill plays because he was a little old-fashioned like that. Also, if you're killing a play with the silent count, you'll usually whisper, "Carbon monoxide, carbon monoxide," as that is the number 1 silent killer. Moving on to the next play, learning to not take sacks is a key to a quarterback's longevity. Had I personally not been addicted to painkillers and alcohol, I could have played well into my 30s. The Vikings are gonna blitz here, and Rosen stands no chance. He goes down like a sack of red-skinned potatoes. So let's just slow down and take a gander at the pre-snap look from the Vikings. By the time the corner creeps up, there's 8 guys in the box, which is what we call an octo box. Wait, I'm getting word that Scott Hansen is going to sue me if I use the term octo box, so we're going to go ahead and call this the Ocho box. 50 and 55 are linebackers on the right side of the formation. Oh, you thought they were going to blitz, didn't ya? Didn't you, you dumb idiot? Well, don't feel too bad. Rosen didn't expect it either, and he went to UCLA. The majority of the students at UCLA are Asian, so you know you have to be smart just to get in. I don't care what country you were born in, white, black, Mike Glennon, all rookie quarterbacks are typically stupid, despite their race, creed, and collegiate background. Here you can see the right guard saying, "Oh shit, who do I block?" and just decides to block no one because what's the point? Now, Larry Fitzgerald is the one player worth a damn on the Cardinals, so he recognizes the blitz and runs a quick route to give Rosen somewhere to go with the ball. Now, this is where you have to understand team chemistry. My sources told me before the game that Rosen thinks Larry Fitzgerald was the one that ratted on him and got his hot tub taken out of his dorm room back at UCLA. The reason? He thought the Cardinals might draft Rosen, and he didn't want a quarterback with pruny fingers. Not after playing with Matt Leinart, but his fingers were soggy for completely different reasons. That's understandable. Larry's played with a lot of bad, soggy-fingered quarterbacks. Rosen was ticked off, though, and that's why he took the beating of a lifetime instead of throwing it to Larry. And if that's not true, it might just be this third glass of Johnny Walker Blue I'm drinking. Ugh, that's how you sip whiskey, rookie. Big third down here. Unfortunately, we're getting late into the game, and the Cardinals have run out of the Taco Bell they had catered on the sideline, so they're going to have to use a different snap count. By the way, that's the difference between mediocre and great organizations. You always get a backup, so when T-Bell runs out, you can switch to Chipotle, Qdoba, what have you. Anyway, Rosen calls the snap count on 2, and the Vikings' 4-man front does not budge. Rosen throws a bizarre slant route to Larry Fitzgerald to ruin his catch percentage, and then says, "I know it was you, old man," as they're walking to the sideline. Now, there's all sorts of ways to signal that the count is on 2. Ben Roethlisberger will usually yell something like, "Dr. Phil, Dr. Phil," because that's his number one Phil. Ben watches a lot of daytime TV. Now, someone with a more renowned taste in Phils like Aaron Rodgers will yell, "Hartman, Hartman," and that'll usually draw the defense off sides. Peyton Manning was a notorious Phil Collins fan, so he would usually yell something like, Studio, Studio. If Peyton wanted to go on a long count, he would yell something like, "Oh, think twice. It's another day for you and me in paradise. Oh." Little inside story here for you. NFL quarterbacks started using the term Phil so frequently that Phil Mickelson, the hefty lefty, just showed up to the Chargers stadium one day for no reason and started swinging the club. And oddly enough, this is the greatest drive in that Chargers stadium since LaDainian Tomlinson played there. Now, Jerry Burns, old head coach for the Vikings, used to say, "If you can remember the first half, you didn't play hard enough." Jerry's 91 now and clearly was operating during a time where we knew a lot less about concussions. A lot of his audibles and play designs were also sexist and homophobic, but you know what they say, that was the 80s. Finally, the greatest thing about being an NFL quarterback is the power you wield over other men. That's the one thing I try to tell rookies. And this is hard for young, timid quarterbacks to understand. The greatest tool you have to make sure guys like your running backs know that they don't mean diddly is the fake handoff. I used to love to make guys think they were going to get the ball but then at the last second, take it away from them and throw it to somebody else. That lets them know that I noticed that they didn't factor in a tip when they chipped in for Wednesday night team dinner. Peyton Manning was the best at this. If Edgerrin James missed a blitz assignment, Peyton wouldn't give him the fucking ball for months. Take away a man's touchdown, and you take away a little piece of his soul. As a quarterback, you want to have the soul of your team. You want to be the Night King, leading a bunch of soulless zombies who will do whatever the hell you tell them to, risk life and limb so that you can get a W on Sundays. That's the NFL, and that is the extra details here on That's Good Sports Plus. This episode was written by Will Keys at WillKeys6 and Brendan Perna. Please consider subscribing to this YouTube channel for more shitty football videos. We post football videos here every week, almost every single, pretty much every day. Twitter at WillKeys6, Twitter at Brandon Perna, Instagram at Brandon Perna. Thank you.